Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to DeVoid year-end tournament, which is taking place 18 days after the year has ended. Nevertheless, we are watching at, I believe this is like quarterfinals or something like that, or round 5 or round 6. It's lower brackets. It's best of one. It's best of one between these two guys, which you are seeing. So it's the main base of DeVoid HollowDosE. I think he's known as George. He's playing Terran here on the orange colors on the top right corner, and he is facing DeVoid Undertaker in the yellow colors on the bottom left corner, playing on the Old Republic map. And this is best of one, as I said. So whoever wins this moves forward in tournament. Whoever loses goes out of the tournament. Bye bye. Good games, well played. Everything nice and fancy, but it is how it is. And yeah, this is the lower bracket games that I'm following up one after another, so they all are probably appearing for you like 2 at a time or 2 at a day in the YouTubes and whatnot, and you can see them all and enjoy them all. And I'm featuring as many people as I can in a short time span as I can, because well, it's I'm out of the tournament somewhere in the middle of it. The ZVZs took a toll from me, and we got eliminated out. So here we are watching some games, and these two guys are actually quite strong ones. I think Undertaker has his little bit of upper hand, but we'll see how things are gonna go down after this. Nevertheless, the opening from the Zerg here is pretty much standard. It shots first into the gas, into the pool. Meanwhile, from the Terran, it's also pretty standard. It's supply depot into barracks, into natural command center, and supply depot number 2. Nothing much of a difference here. Double queens coming up. The third is patrolling, the SCV is patrolling the drone from taking a third. He's pretty successfully doing that, but drone is going to take him down if he's not there, and he's actually deciding to start building the supply depot. The drone is saving himself in the gas, and the supply depot has been cancelled. Well, looks like the Reaper man didn't check actually if there is anything here. The Undertaker is not cancelling his tumor. He's actually taking a third down here on the bottom ground, and he's letting this gas actually to finish. But that will give him some visual information, confirmation of Reaper if he's hanging around there. And the creep tumors just goes down and everything. So this actually could be good for the Zerg player, because technically this is like two ramps which could be pushed by the siege tanks. So if there are like 2 siege tanks coming, they could be leapfrogging forward slowly, and then they have this position. So if you have creep and an expansion already here, so this is like more flat ground where the siege tanks will have a little less of a happy time leapfrogging forward. And nevertheless, the Terran is going for double Hellions, double more following up. It's like 4 Hellions for the harassment purposes. There is a third command center being built on the upper ground, and it's actually 1-1-1 opening here from the Terran player. There are a lot of Zerglings here with the speed, and a lot more joining in, so it's gonna be like pretty much like 30 Zerglings, which is pretty standard defense force against possible like 6 to 8 Hellions. But the Undertaker is splitting the Zerglings out into 2 groups. Some of them are trying to catch out these Hellions over here, but there are 2 more waiting, so it's like 4 and actually going for 8 of the Hellions. The Zerglings have arrived in the natural, and they are committing to eating down some SCVs. They have successfully done so for like 9 of them. That's a big catch out. So the Hellions pretty much were AFK the whole time, and some of them were caught out by the Otherlings on the other side. Well, doesn't look like there is much more Hellions on the map right now, except these 3 guys in the natural. 11 SCVs have gone down. The Mule Hammer were pressed, but nothing else is happening. There is double Banshees being built, and the cloaking for the Banshees also is joining in. and there is factory number 2 being built. So it looks like it's gonna be more on the mech side of a build from the Terran player here. Meanwhile, Zerg is successfully taking the 4th. He has saturated the natural, and he's going to saturate the 3rd. He's making the spore crawlers here in the natural and in the 3rd, but there is no spore crawler in the main or next to the 4th. That task might be left for the queens to take care of. I don't see no lair so far from the Zerg player, so that's only Lings. And the Overlord has pretty much flew through the main base and is scouting all the information that's happened. There's Hyperflight Rotos being researched, so that's actually a movement speed for the Banshees. So it's 5 Hellions and 2 Banshees joining in the party. This Banshee was not microed, it definitely just gone to die. There is actually protective spore here. The queens are being microed to do transfuse to keep them healthy. There is the one more Banshee is going for the main base, and it's running into the spore crawler. The Lings are surrounding the Hellions, which is drawn with a drone line and killed 7 drones. But this Banshee is gonna go down to the queens. There is one more Banshee being built. Yeah, there is one more Banshee out. The blue flame is being researched. There is a factory number 3. The barracks is being used to get the add-ons. The Lings are finding that there is no 3rd base, but there is only 4 Hellions and Banshee here for defense. Meanwhile, the Zerg player is building the 5th base, or has finished building the 5th base. He's going for 1-1. He has Baneling's Nest on the back of it, so he is planning to go for Lingbane Hydra composition, even though it's clearly a mech which he is facing. Well, if the Zerg player manages to get much more amounts of units on the board, then obviously that's strong enough to handle this kind of pressure. The Banes can catch out on the creep, the Hellions, and Hydras get rid of the Banshees. There's 69 workers for Zerg player, which is really nice, and some Zerglings are being sent aside, and the Banes are left behind, just in case if the Hellions commit once again for the mineral lane, for example for this 3rd base, then the Banes can actually counter it. The Bane spin is being researched, and the Lings are actually going for a run by, and they are quite successfully hitting the 3rd base of the Terran player by eating upon all of the mules and SCVs on the mineral lane. That's 9 SCVs down. The blue flame has been revealed, the cyclone has been revealed. The armory is going for +1 armor, and another armory here in the natural is going for +1 vehicle weapons, which means that indeed that's gonna be Hellion, Cyclone, Banshee combination of units. And the Zerg player yeah, he got some damage done. I believe that was on the 4th base. Hellion diving and killing 8 drones down, but there is many more Zerglings right now on the field. They have 1-1. The Hydras are getting their upgrades. The drones are being resupplied to the 4th base here, and Hydras and Lings are opening up the paths to be able to run around the map. I believe the Overlord speed is lacking. The infestation pit is built somewhere. I don't know where. That's over here in the main base. So technically the next step would be what will be done from the Zerg here. He's going for 2-2, making some Banes over here to be able to catch down this army. Well, technically, if the Zerg is fast enough, he could be actually going for Hive to get the Ultras out, and that would be the ultimate counter to these both units, and Infestation Pit would be giving him some infestors with the fungals. Nevertheless, all the Hellions and Cyclones have been caught out by the Hydra Ling Bane Force, and the attack damage has been held down. Very uncomfortable time because upgrades are finishing for those units just now, but there is already 4 siege tanks out, so looks like the Terran is going for turtle mode. There's 2 more siege tanks and a lot more Hellions joining the fray. So this is pretty much No, it's even Viper. Well, technically it's Viper. It's Ultralisk Viper, no? Yeah, it's Ultralisk Viper Force, which would be required from the Zerg player. Zerg is going for the Hive right now. He's researching Burrow, Overlord Speed. He's placing defensive spines for the round-bys. He has big mass of Hydras here split apart to be able to shoo away any Hellions running by. That's 5 base Zerg running 76 drones. And the Terran actually is going down to have 4th over here. He's building 5th command center, but he has successfully walled off this side, so no run-bys from this side is possible, and run-bys from this side is possible because there is wall off over here. So this is the only entrance that he is like opening, and he's playing the tower defense the game with planetaries, Thors, and siege tanks here for against his opponent. Well, in this case, yep, the Ultra then has been started, the Arduino is being researched. Well, I believe that if the Zerg will see there was actually Baneling Wand being placed, I believe they might have caught some out, but they might have been spotted. Well, if the Zerg player will spot down this one, I think his reaction would be definitely get Neural Parasite and get some Infestors out to actually be able to mind control the things. The Infestors are on the way indeed. Have they seen the Turtle Zerg? The Turtle Terran here? No idea. Blue 5 Hellions actually successfully run by and kill some 4 drones here. And they have been get rid of. What is the trade? Trades. Actually, it's not actually efficient for the Terran player. So Zerg actually has traded more efficiently than Terran in this game so far. Yep, that's the situation. There is 5 Ultralisks in production with chitinous plating. That's doubling the armor. It's double armor buff or double armor upgrade for the Thors, but that many siege tanks in one place could be asking for a lot of trouble, even for Thors with a maximum amount of upgrades. The Infestors have only the fungal with them, and there is a pretty much maxed out army with Lings and Hydras. Lings are running into big force and finding out that such is the situation. The reaction from the Zerg we are expecting. He's going for free upgrades on his melee. He's actually making multiple expansions at once in the same time, so he could take care of seeing if Terran is actually going to expand elsewhere. And much more Ultras are joining the party. It's like 2 more, so that's like what, 7 Ultras of them. And actually Terran has maxed out. He has not maxed out, he's actually 150 supply and he's moving out with a massive amount of siege tanks and Thors. There is not really much defenses here for the Zerg. Well, technically he is preparing to sandwich the units from all sides. He has Queens, he has Hydras, he has Banes, he has Ultras, he has everything, so he is going to try to run onto this army from all sides at the same time. There we go. Let's see how he ends up with this one. There's actually Infestors in the middle of it, but yeah, it looks like the army has been depleted. All of the mech has been destroyed, and the Hydraling Ultra is going forth to the attack to the 3rd base, the 4th base of the Terran player. Yeah, the Infestors are still here, they are doing nothing. There's double spire being made behind this, and actually 6 Ultras joining in the party. But I don't think that it's actually necessary. It's just more Ultras now, more Lings, and just keep on rinse and repeat throwing units towards the Terran. Actually, there are 3 Liberators joining in the party, which might be troublesome because there is no anti-air right now in the army except the Hydras. And there is 5 siege tanks being made down. There's +2/+2 for the Terran, which he finished for the vehicle upgrades, and he's actually making +3/+3. Somehow 10 SCVs gone down. I have no idea where and why, but they did. Now the Liberators are clearing up pretty much the army. Yeah, the Neural Parasite is still not being on the table, so I'm very curious why. Well, technically it's unnecessary for the Zerg player, but it would be really nice. It would be really strong. Still no air units, but the ultras are now ravaging the third base economy. There is some fungals being dropped on the siege tanks and some lings are coming in. Pretty much there is uncontrolled beeline of units from Zerg's side just going over the map and going through the two liberation zones, if not 3 liberation zones of the Liberators. 16 SCVs have gone down, but that's leaving a lot of big dent in the Terran economy, while Zerg economy is just flourishing. It's like 90 workers and he's just throwing units upon units. Some corruptors have been joining in the party to be able to get rid of Liberators. There's also Greater Spire being researched, +1 attacks for the air, and the attack might be commencing once again. Now it's a little bit of a chill time for both sides. Well, Terran player is obviously retaking his 4th base, making it a planetary, resupplying it with the cannons, and sending some McLaren attack group of Hellions and Cyclones in front. Well, technically the Zerg player has the fungal abilities right now, which he could use actually to catch it out. That could be really good trade for him. Will he do that? We'll see. We will see what's up with that, if that's going to happen. Well, the Hellion and Cyclone has decided to run by to the 6th or 7th or whoever the base for the Zerg. And now the Hellions and Cyclones are a little bit trapped. There's Ultras going after them. There are some Spines killing them. And more units are just joining in the fray. Whatever they kill, there is more coming in place of that. Actually, there's +3/+3 vehicle weapons right now done for the Terran player, so whatever he builds is as strong as it gets. More siege tanks are added to the party. There's actually missile turrets being added to the party. The Cyclones pretty much and Hellions can see these expansions and everything else. And Zerg player is deciding to warp in Broodlords, 10 Broodlords at the same time. Broodlords are pretty damn good, but they're really slow. They're slow, but their Broodlings have 3/3 upgrades, and the drop damage is upgraded by +1 right now, so that's gonna be good enough. There are no Thors, no Ghosts, there's only Cyclones right now. The scan reveals the Infestors, but that's not good enough. Technically the Broodlings can draw away the siege tank fire also. That's also a possibility. The Corruptors are dealing with the Liberators, but there are already 4 Vikings which were built and are on the field, and there are 4 more Vikings being built right now, so those will deal with the Broodlords here. Well, technically the attack from the Zerg side was repelled, and the Vikings here are killing Broodlords one by one. Meanwhile, the Zerg is kind of trying to run forward. There's actually burrowed lings here in the bases, and looks like that's the plan for the Zerg player here, to burrow them and save them. I don't know how many Broodlords did survive. Actually, it was 5, so 5 Broodlords went down for the Zerg player here, but the trades so far have been not any more equal. It's like 2000 gas behind for Zerg and 1000 or 2000 resources behind, but those are not terrible, because usually against Mech Terran, Zerg players are losing a lot of resources. Not efficient, because Mech is giving very efficient trades. Now there is the Vikings following up the Mech Terran group of Hellions and Cyclones, but there is a lot of Corruptors. They have +1 armor right now, +1 weapons. Well, Vikings does not have any +1 air weapons at all. And Undertaker takes game and goes forward in the tournament and drops out HollowDosE or George out of it.